Yer! What it do, guys? I'm just making sure the audio is working. It seems like it's working okay. No, there you go. Ooh. Sorry, y'all, if you just heard a big crash. Oh, put it on the other strap, because it falls inward. That strap. There you go.
Hey, guys.
Alright, welcome to our second episode of NDT Podcast. I'm Dylan. This is the co-host, Beautiful.
Chantel.
Where we end up talking about topics you normally don't talk about at the dinner table. We're just going to start off with some updates. What we've been doing in the last week since we last saw you guys. Over the weekend, we ended up going to the zoo, right? Did we do anything before that? No, I think the next day after we ended up going. That was fun. Are these the pictures from the zoo?
No, these are from this week, so Connecticut and all that. We talked about this last time.
Did we?
Yeah. But we have a new setup.
Oh yeah, we ended up changing the setup. We did go to the zoo. We talked about the zoo last time, but yeah, we changed the setup. We went to Connecticut. If you want to pull up those pictures, we also went out to eat with your mom.
Yeah, we found this chair outside, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we got a dope
Dylan
podcast
has, like,
chair.
a good eye for like thrifting. So like every time we drive by this house, he found this chair and it was free.
Look,
$99.
wait, you gotta put the flashlight on.
Like the exact type of podcast chair you want. Look at that. On the side of the road. Okay.
Really nice. So we cleaned it up. I cleaned it up pretty good. And then we started reorganizing in here. We're testing in a few new things. So as you guys see, and you see the little fuzziness on my hand. Oh, damn. There goes the camera. We're going to be working on a few adjustments here and there.
Yeah, we can't use our hands too much because the camera is like
can't.
motion sensor. But yeah, we've been going on like different updates and trying to do different updates in this room to make it more podcast friendly. So we moved a couple things around, and we spent some time with family over the week.
Who also has been encouraging us to change up the podcast, much like my mom. She's texted me so many times with different things of what we should be doing.
Yeah, she's texting him a bunch of like Etsy links and stuff. But we went to Connecticut over the weekend, and if people don't know, you're from Connecticut.
Yeah.
You want to talk about like where you're from and stuff, like where we went?
Well, I mean, like we weren't really where I was from. You know what I mean? Like this is just where Teddy lives.
We were in Newton, Connecticut, I believe.
Yeah, around that area.
And we were visiting Teddy because Teddy does music.
Yeah, we were visiting Teddy and Peter on the day that they work on music together. It's kind of like their passion that they have going on the side. They have other jobs as well. So it's rare for us to go up and all get a time to do exactly what you see in this picture. You know, go to the restaurants, get a drink. So it was nice to see. And it was a cute little area. The spot that Teddy brought us to. Didn't expect it to be packed, but it was a mess.
Yeah, it was like a super long wait, but it was okay.
The long wait ended up paying off. We got a dope waiter, and it was just lit times. All right, well, this is me and the boys. If you guys saw my story, this is, you know, classic bro moment.
This is Dylan,
hi Kat,
Teddy,
hi
all
Emery.
sharing a moment in the woods. Hi Kat, hi Emery. We're just going over what we did this weekend. So we went to, or this week, it's still a week, but during the week we went to Connecticut to visit Teddy and Peter. And they were, you know, we all had to pee. I couldn't pee with them, so I had to run to the bathroom, but they all...
Well, she went before. We was waiting for her, so when we got back, we was like, all right, bros, let's go.
Oh, by the way, Kat, I took this picture, so I got on my tippy toes, and then I zoomed in, and I was like, boop, and then I ran to the bathroom. I had to use the bathroom. But we also have a different setup, Kat and Emery, as you can see. We have a little C and a D.
I gotta paint my D still.
And this is Aaron Judge, because we love Aaron Judge.
Yeah, shout out my uncle Danny.
That's Dylan's uncle who featured. But we had a really fun time in Connecticut. I had like I love having like frozen drinks in the summer. So I had like a frozen pina colada, and I love like drinks that will like refresh you, but also get you a little lit. So yeah, I had like a lot of
I was in the mood for something filling, and I knew we were going to get wings because they were half off, and that's just the most logical thing to do. And I got a Guinness. It was good. It was really good. Although I was underwhelmed with the teriyaki, but the chicken ended up being good, and it was probably better that it wasn't what I wanted it to be. Because knowing me, I would have got food that fucked me up.
Yeah, and then this was a picture of Dylan, Peter, and Teddy, just because they all look so adorable together.
Mm.
All right, and then we went out to dinner with my mom. So this is my mom in the middle.
Is that why I messed it up? Did we go to your mom's, dinner with your mom's before or after? Before? Okay. So we're going a little bit in reverse. But yeah, along in the weekend, we ended up going out to dinner with Chantal's mom at a restaurant that's over by us here in New York. Really good time. We ended up going outside, and we haven't had a lot of experiences to sit outside, and they've been like upgrading it low key, high key.
Yeah, every single time we go, it's like more updated.
Yeah, it's
and more
updated
things
because
are
last time
going
the
on.
chairs were metal and they all didn't match. This time they had like a theme, and it was a vibe. It was honestly a vibe.
Yeah. Let us know if the audio is good, guys. Okay.
Also,
If you can hear both of us, and if you can hear the music, let me know if it's good.
Mods, we're talking to you. We got a first time chatter talking about Messi.
We don't watch soccer.
We're not big. We watch UFC, you know.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about Messi today. So if you wanna say something else, that'd be great.
Audio's good.
Thank you, White Hawk. Hi, White Hawk. This is me and my mom again. And she's just so adorable.
Hey,
and she doesn't go out a lot, so it was like a good time to see her in her.
Well, she's another one where again it just comes down to scheduling. That's hard for us to make things work out. She's a very busy, hardworking woman, you know. So very very blessed to be able to take you guys out and take this picture, y'all.
Hey, Fumi. And then we also went upstate. We visited my best friend Kathy, who is a chef, and her boyfriend is a chef. So we went to the restaurant where he works at, where they make like really I would say farm to table food, like based off what they have around them. And we had some really interesting meals that we like don't really usually eat because we usually cook or we eat like what's around us, which is not the best food. So, like we eat like burgers or like fries, things like that. But this was really like upscale food, I'd say.
It was interesting, Blanquito food.
Meal. But this was a picture we took in the middle of the street. This is an upstate in Poughkeepsie, if anybody knows. In Poughkeepsie, it's called Cleo, the restaurant. But it was raining and stuff that day, so there wasn't that many people out. So we were able to take this cute picture.
It was also one of those weird rainy days where it was on and off, but those usually end up having like the best sunsets. So as soon as we walked out and I looked down, you know, you look both ways when you cross the street. Hopefully most of y'all do. I saw on one side, it was like that dope sunset. So I said, oh, nobody's here in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. So let's take a picture in the middle of the street. And honestly, I think this is my first corny picture I've ever taken like this. So thank you, sweetheart. Yeah.
I've been just like, let's take a picture right here. Just because I'm a big like picture person. Like I love to commemorate or like memorialize.
You like to
moments.
capture the moment.
I like to capture the moment, and I'm not like the best photographer, but whenever we take a picture, I'm happy that I took that picture and that I have that memory. And it might be annoying in the minute, but he'll appreciate it when we have mad pictures in our house that are free. So that's great. And this is no editing, like straight picture from our phones. What's y'all guys' history together? Like how y'all met? That's a great question.
Oh, great question. We actually met through work.
Yeah, we met.
But it was a work training because we didn't work together within the same building. So we were like a part of the same network, met in the beginning, first week, and then after, you know, we just stayed in contact. We talked for a couple of months and then we made it official, and ever since then things have just been exploding with chemistry.
No, I would say, yeah, we met at work training, and we were, I would say, 2 out of the 3 youngest people in this whole job that we were doing. So I noticed when he came in the room, like at the work training, and I was just like, wow.
Well, y'all were the youngest. I was the youngest for the previous, well, I was the youngest for the last 3 years, and there wasn't anyone my age. Everyone else was literally older until that work training, because that was when the network officially combined.
Yeah.
They never had anything like that before, at least when I was there. So
We both work at different places now and do different things.
Chef
But
KP.
we originally met over there. This
Chef
is
KP.
my best friend, Chef Kathy, who works at Reconnect Foods in upstate.
I'm gonna lower the music.
If any of you guys would like to go and try some bao buns and some like Mexican Asian fusion style food, that is where she works at right now. And that's who we went to go visit. This is Kathy and us. That's nice. You guys got a favorite music artist? Oh, that's a great question. The music we're listening to now, I know Justin Bieber's cringe, but like I love R&B music. I love instruments. Like I love hearing strings.
Well, I
and
wouldn't say that
guitars
Justin
and
Bieber's
jazz.
cringe. Justin Bieber's not cringe
It used to be
recently.
cringe.
Justin Bieber used to be cringe, which is where your love for him started. So
I used to be
yeah,
so
your
embarrassed
love
to
for
say
him
that
is
I listen
cringe.
to Justin Bieber, like the Jonas Brothers,
But the
I
fact
love,
that you
pop
say that
music.
means that you listen to him in that phase. But if you say it now nonchalantly, people are gonna be like, "Oh, word, okay, you fucks with the new music."
I still to this day have my Justin Bieber book that he released.
So yeah.
But anyway, I love R&B music. Dylan is a collection, like a mix of all the things. Like he has such good music taste. So shout out to Dylan.
I listen to everything.
He's put me on to music that I never thought I'd like ever.
Yo, I got her listening to rock music and shit too.
Like today, I was actually editing our Bronx Zoo vlog that's going up soon, so look out for that. And I was trying to put in some like overlay music, and he was like, "That's an interesting choice." And I'm like, "Hey, I like how it sounds. Let it flow. Let it flow."
Oh, and speaking of music, when we went to go see the boys, and considering they do music, they are helping us to get a theme song going.
Theme song.
So hopefully, instead of us playing music and it not being picked up in the VODs or anything, we could actually have like a little jingle that we could be playing here and there. It's actually sounding pretty fucking lit. I think we got an intro / like chorus area going where we're gonna be working on an outro, and then also we may possibly do one for just wildin' out for anybody who doesn't just tune in, or yeah, for anyone who doesn't just tune in on Thursdays, for my games and shit.
Stream. But that was really fun. So when we went to Connecticut, we were able to like get into his friends' heads on like how they make like beats and stuff. So that was really cool. And I really liked just like being able to pick stuff that we like. Like I think we're similar in that. Like we kind of like similar beats or rhythms.
Well, especially because we had the same objective here, right? We wanted a song for our podcast, something that kind of relates to both of us.
And what a lot of people don't know is we actually watch a lot of podcasts, right? So when we're watching a podcast, I'm like, damn, I wish like they did this or X, Y, and Z. So like now that we have our own, we can kind of implement the things that we don't see in the podcast that we watch, or like get inspiration from those podcasts. Yeah. Because we do listen to podcasts that have like a little theme song in the beginning, and I'm like, it'd be really cool if we could have a theme song in the beginning.
Yeah. For example, one of the things that we're working on is you see the little wrinkles in the screen. We got our son here, Loki. He's laying on the green screen and just rolling around, having a ball with the fan. So, yeah, every time we end up watching a podcast, I notice she has some great input and stuff, and we're just trying to incorporate a little bit of what we think should be going down, what we want to end up talking about or seeing people talking about.
Yeah, so hopefully we can have that soon. And then every time you guys will be tuning in, instead of listening to like random music, you'll be listening to like our theme song.
Yeah, we'll have like a nice little jingle to go around.
The idea is that you can like bop to it as you're like waiting for us.
Hey, no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers. But it's not gonna be no elevator music. It's gonna be perfect for the vibe. You know what I mean?
It's made by the people.
Ooh, they actually got a hot take. They said The Weeknd is better than Justin.
The Weeknd is better than Justin. I will say.
Old Weeknd.
I love The Weeknd.
Old Weeknd better than mid Justin.
Like The Weeknd's like original songs that like I heard, are so like ethereal that you can't even like hear it. Like it's completely different.
Yeah, I mean you're right there in the sense of like their vibes that they're going for are completely different. If they were going for the same genre like a competition, it depends what the genre is for me to decide who would win.
I think the song like Wicked Game
Wicked game.
Like that song is insane. Like ooh. And even before that, like his albums, like I just think they're in two different
Not the Idol Weekend version.
areas.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people now
think, yeah.
are saying that the Weeknd's like scary, like rather not scary, but like they just don't know what direction he's heading in. You know what I mean? Like, and he's just a very interesting, unique character now. Emery said, yeah, old Weeknd was not to be played with.
I like that about him.
Big facts. When he was cryptic. Yeah. When he was like,
there was mystery to his character. You were like, who is this
and now it's like there's still mystery because you don't know what you're gonna get, like what to expect, but now it's kind of like extreme.
Yeah, so
he's
going
always been
into
toxic
that,
and serious.
Hello, people need to catch up, if I'm being honest. Yes, I agree. People do need to catch up.
Well, because he's saying that the Weeknd has always been toxic and mysterious.
Yeah.
Oh, so White Hawk saying that you expected him to go down this route and everything like that? That's interesting.
Yeah.
You know what? In terms of like getting people or expecting what goes down the route that you saw them going down, we've been watching Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
And in the very beginning, I remember explicitly not watching the show like on the couch with her, but walking by and hearing it. And I was so judgmental of each couple. And I would just say flat out what I thought the trajectory of them were. I say 60% of them I was right with. 60% I was right. But then the reunions that we've been watching have turned that into like 40% right.
Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, Married at First Sight is a reality TV show that airs on Lifetime, I believe. And they just put season 13 on Netflix recently. So it's been going kind of viral lately of people like watching it. And I like watching reality TV, so I was like, let's give it a shot. Now, none of these people should have gotten married. That's the first part. Second part is there's supposed to be therapists that are involved in this. How do you think the therapists do their job?
They are non-existent. What do you mean, therapist? I'm convinced that one of the couples on this show was planted as therapists for the rest of the group because I don't think they did a good job at all. The meetings were way too spaced out. They did not attend to anyone's needs. If anything, they just gaslighted. Well, not gaslight. They like egg situations on. Like they would hear it out and be like, wow, that means you're a pretty shitty person, right? Oh, so that means to you that they think you're a piece of shit. And I'm like, you're pretty much putting words in their head. What's that called? Leading questions, but it's like they're a leading. Yeah, it is a leading question because they're like giving the witness. Yeah, they're giving them something to be angry about that wasn't necessarily what they said.
Yeah. Hi, King.
Hello, King. Thank you so much for the sub. We appreciate you, gang.
Yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe. And also, like, hit a thumbs up, all the things.
Oh yeah, we are gonna be doing. We are uploading these to YouTube. So for the YouTube watchers, yes, please subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell.
But the issue with this show is just this clip right here. I'm gonna tell you what's happening. I'll tell you what's happening.
Also, audio will be coming soon.
This guy is not ready for anything that revolves with marriage, okay? His name is Zach. And his girl that he was paired with is a psychopath. Like, she is literally insane. Like, this poor girl. Okay, look at her. Okay. This girl just told him, like, live time. She goes, hey, if you want to leave, you can leave the retreat. I can find a way home. Because they're arguing. He goes, are you sure? We drove here together. We're a couple hours away. Are you sure you can find a ride? She was like, go. So he was like, okay, I'm going to go. She calls her sister. He makes sure that she has a ride to go back home because he kept telling her, hey, I'm fine to stay because I know you need a ride and I'll take you back. Like, I feel like that's a nice thing for him to do. Like, he's still thinking about you in a certain way. She was like, go, do your thing. So he ends up leaving, and look at what happens. Look at what happened.
Oh, is this where they all start going after
So he ends up leaving. They're all at a couples retreat right now because all you want to do is put 6 toxic people in the house together. And he's like about to leave, and they don't want to let him leave. And then look at how she reacts. I hope they have this. Look at how she reacts. Tell me if this is a normal reaction as a human being. Oh, oh, she's flipping shit. This is a real adult.
I didn't see this.
This is a real adult. And Dylan didn't see this, and he's watching this for the first time. The producer is holding her back. Holding her back. Okay. Do we think that that's a normal reaction? Like, in a marriage, in a friendship, you have an argument, and somebody removes themselves from the situation, and then you react in that way. Was that person right to remove themselves in the situation because they knew what was coming? Pause. Let you think.
I don't think anyone knew that was cut. Well, actually, I don't know.
That was crazy.
The producer was in that room on site in there. Like, I didn't see the producer even sneak into that room, keep it a buck. Even if we played that shit back, that bitch teleported in that room to restrain her. Also, yeah, that was blind rage. Because she walked in there with her arm out. She walked in there and she just was ripping shit.
How did that girl pass all the psych tests that they do to get on the show?
You think they do psych tests to get on the show?
Like, that's insane.
You genuinely... They don't do psych tests to be on the show. Okay. None of these shows they do psych tests.
You signed up for a show like this to get married at first sight, and you're trusting that
who's the dude that
psychologists are actually looking at these profiles, but they're not.
They're not.
That's crazy.
Who's that dude that we thought was coked out all that one season? With everybody that was like a mixture of like the Netflix shows. But then we hear him on a podcast and the guy's like, it's kind of fucked up that they don't explain shit because I suffer from like severe anxiety. ADHD, anxieties because of that. And it's like...
Talking about some guy from...
what show was that?
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind, yeah.
The guy with the blonde hair. Shane,
thank you.
Shout out Julie.
Poor Shane, honestly.
Shane really got a bad rap, and I thought
he got
Shane
a really
was
bad
like
rap.
On drugs. If people don't remember who Shane is,
but that's the edit. That's what I was saying. Like, there isn't enough discrepancy out there, and I feel like a lot of people are okay talking about it because then you end up hearing later that he's like, well, yeah, I have severe ADHD, but I didn't think that people would think I'm on drugs or anything like that, you know? What are you looking for?
I want to search Shane.
Yeah, Safari left.
Google Chrome.
Oh.
But Shane is from Love is Blind, and Shane went, he was always like fidgeting and stuff, and people assumed that he was on coke, but he actually just has severe ADHD.
You turned it off, you egghead. There you go. That's how you spell it? Shay, N-A?
J-A, well, Shay A.
I mean, come on, the first picture.
This is Shay.
He's got a look to him that's go down. The one right next to the lady. Like, left. That's your right. Down. To the right, up. Baby, how are you dodging it? Go down. To the right. Nice. Like that.
Oh, Shane and Natalie.
So
Shane and Natalie.
Wait, she was on the show?
Babe, that was their part. No, that's a different girl. That's a different girl. That's not Bao. That's not Bao.
No, I know that's not Bao, you egghead. I'm saying that's not little crazy girl that he was in love with.
Yes, that is. She just don't have makeup. That's
Baby,
Natalie.
that's a whole other ethnicity.
Babe, that's
not her.
Natalie. It says
no,
on the headline.
No, he was with that girl. I'm talking about the show.
Oh, you're talking about Shauna. Here, this
yes. One. No, not even. Yo, who are these bitches? What other shows this guy been on with women? Go down.
You're talking about Chloe.
Chloe. Yes, crazy Chloe.
Was that one Paradise? That was a spinoff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's the only way I know this dude. I don't know him from. There. It's Shaina.
Shane and Chloe.
It is Chloe. Why is it? Yo, I hate the internet, dude. I can't find shit.
What show was that? Perfect Match.
Perfect Match.
A mess. Perfect mess. That's Shane and Chloe. But anyways.
Alright, based on who's giving as much advice, I'm gonna guess that's Julie.
That is Julie.
Okay,
I told you. Julie's supporting us.
Julie, thank you so much for fact checking us. This and for, getting my thoughts out of my head. These psychopaths, this poor man on this season was portrayed as a maniac.
Yeah.
An absolute maniac. And it was fucked up because like that's the parts that they also grabbed from her in terms of like her concerns with him.
Yeah.
So it's like they hyped it up to be like
Shane's a little unhinged.
Yes,
and
yes,
it's like, yes, Shane's a little unhinged.
Yes.
He got ADHD.
Right. And then every time he said that, it would play a clip of his face, and it just happens to be a moment where he's sitting there looking through people,
Okay, that was hilarious. All right, and then we have the next couple from Married at First Sight, which is Gil and Mirla. And Gil and Mirla teach us an important lesson about
Green button. Nice.
How opposites sometimes do not attract. Mirla was very much about like, I am who I am, and Gil was very much like, I'm broke, but I'm not gonna tell you I'm broke.
Yeah, Mirla, Gil.
What?
He looked what?
What did you say?
I said Mirla, Myriad.
So this is them at their wedding.
This girl that was on Love is Blind, Ariel came out saying how conditions that they were put under while filming is horrible. They would starve them. That's actually what this bitch ended up saying too. So pause it real quick. Pause right there. Nice. So.
I want to hear the part where she goes, he's bald.
So this girl instantly rubbed me, the cast, and everyone the wrong way.
Me and the cast?
And even herself when she rewatches it after. But that, of course, that has to do with some production. However, she is the type to be out here saying, this resort sucks ass. You guys are a joke thinking that this is nice. Like we're kidding, right? Haha, you can put down the cameras now. This place sucks, right? And then they're just acting. Yeah. So yeah, they went on to like a honeymoon and everyone's out having good times and shit. First off, she doesn't come out the first night because she's working. Great. So that man comes out and he's like, yeah, she's a little bit high maintenance and peculiar. And everyone's like, all right, sounds like you got a lot to say about your wife. We'll see when she gets here. She comes down and she's just like, guys, are we not like at a senior citizen home? And everyone's like, what are you talking about?
Caicos is a prison.
Right, that's the vibe that she was giving. She was just like, this isn't a beach. And then they're like, is there water? They're like, yeah. Are we on the coast? They're like, yeah. And they're like, it's a beach. She goes, this isn't a beach. Like, I just thought of the meme. This isn't a beach. This is a bathtub. Sorry, for anybody who knows where that's from. You probably shouldn't know where that's from.
I feel like these shows are big contributors to people having mental breakdowns, especially people who sign up and already suffer from things like anxiety and depression. They're obviously being triggered and producers get a kick out of it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of these people go on these shows thinking that this is going to cure X, Y, and Z. And also, a lot of these people don't know that they have X, Y, and Z when they go on these shows and they're just trying to live life. It's honestly the people putting out, it's the scouts, realistically, that are the fucked up ones. So if any friend of theirs is the one recommending them to the show, knowing that they, as a human being, should work on their own tendencies, but they're like, LOL, we should go watch you do some silly shit on TV. I know the producer, go over there. It's kind of fucked up for me. Like that's just like, I don't know who these people truly have in their circle, and that's kind of like playing out and seeing them be put in these uncomfortable situations that they don't always know what they sign up for, let alone knowing what you sign up for and then knowing that the execution's actually going to line up, because they could always change it.
I also think that you have to take into consideration editing and how these
right, that's what I mean, change it.
Like, they're going to try to make something out of nothing, right? So as a viewer, you have to kind of be a little unbiased and just be like, I'm just watching this to watch it, and I know that maybe 75% of it isn't true, or 75% of it is exaggerated, but at the end of the day, they can't put words into people's mouths or make a girl flip a table. You get what I mean? Like, I think it shows people for who they are, and maybe it brings out the worst in some people, but in other people, it brings out the best in them, and you show, like, growth or things. Like, you show the human story, and the human story isn't a straight line. Well, I think that's the beauty of reality TV. Like, you can see people mess up, and then you can see people come back and be in a different light. Like, for example, Johnny Bananas from MTV, how he used to be hated, like extremely hated,
CT,
and CT, and like they came back over time and showed that, hey, you can grow as a person, and like I like that. I like the reality of it, but you know that there's people behind the scenes that are like
But something that she kind of owns up to, and I appreciate about her here, is she was one to be blunt and realistic.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
on the
yeah.
point that you're making, Julie, like really imagine marrying a stranger, LMFAO. Yeah, imagine signing a contract saying that you have to kiss the first person that we put in front of you
Yeah.
here as your wedding. Like, and she
So
made
wait,
him.
Let's watch this little mini clip and then let's talk about it.
Oh
I want
yeah,
to see what people
smart,
say.
smart. I was just
Okay,
yeah.
so in Married at First Sight, you meet your husband or your wife at the altar, right? And you say vows to someone that you've never met before. For the people who've never watched the show, you choose whether or not you kiss your spouse. This is a wedding. This is your marriage. You're supposed to try to be with this person for the rest of your life, right? Let's see what Mirla and Gil do real quick. Oh, gave him the cheek. All right, so what do we think? Let's vote in the chat. And if you're on YouTube, comment down below.
One's if she's just trying to be modest. Two, if she don't like him.
One, she just trying to be modest. Two, she don't like him. What do we think? What do we think?
One
If
for
you
modest,
want, I'll
two
replay it
for
you. I'll replay it.
she think he ugly.
Okay, one, she don't like bald men. That's the first thing she said. She don't want a bald
Yeah,
man.
in her confessional, she was like anything but bald.
She literally said, I do not want someone who's bald multiple times. And what they do?
Gave her a bald ass man.
Who's bald. Which, by the way, I would say he's not an ugly dude at all. Like, he's a nice dude. He
side
has a nice
profile,
personality.
interesting head shape.
He's a
front
firefighter.
profile, he's perfectly fine. Yeah, like he's a well-built man, allegedly stable.
So, if you get married at first sight, if anyone here would get married at first sight, do you think you would kiss at the altar or would you not kiss at the altar? Emery said two. She don't like him.
That's funny as fuck. But again, they pressed her for a good long while afterwards for not kissing him.
Yeah. I didn't like on the show that they kept trying to pressure them to do sexual things. Like the therapist kept asking them, have you guys kissed yet? Have you guys kissed yet? Have you guys done anything yet? Like, I'm the type of person that if you force something on me, I'm not gonna want to do it. So stop forcing it. Let it just happen.
Right. So I really didn't like how they were, again, like they put her in more of a bad light because she didn't, like, for me, I feel like the producers put her more in a bad light because she was more reluctant in the process. But that's because she was calling people out on her bullshit, you know what I mean? So I respect her, but there's definitely moments with her where I was like, just as a human being, you live in a different stratosphere than a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's fortunate for you, and I get your standards, but
I think a big part of relationships is like compromise.
Hi, Lola.
And if you go into something not willing to compromise, it's like, what's the point? Like, if everything is going to be about you, then you should just be by yourself until you're ready to meet somebody in the middle. It's not about changing who you are, but it's like, if you truly care about somebody, you're going to meet them in the middle. And if you don't meet them in the middle, you shouldn't be with that person.
She should have been with the little short guy.
Oh my God, no. She likes Odell Beckham Jr. That's what she wants.
Right.
She don't like short little men.
Interesting, but he technically would have checked off all the boxes equally, and he would have had hair. The one thing she probably wouldn't have counted for, instead of it being don't be bald, don't be bald, don't be below 5'2", which he was. So that would just be her only thing she had to overcome, which is easy considering the fact that he's 5'1". But
I think either way she would have been unhappy.
Oh, shout out to Marvel.
We watched all of Secret Invasion, which was a short series on Hulu.
No, this is Disney.
Disney Plus.
Disney has everything on that.
And Marvel. This is a spin-off with Nick Fury.
Well, it's not necessarily a spin-off, but this is just like more of his storyline. I'm not gonna spoil nothing. But very, very blessed to have this out on Disney Plus. It does fill in the blanks / confirm people's conspiracies in the past of like what's been going on, and I think it does a really good job of broadening our picture for what's to come for the Marvel universe. Not to mention that Deadpool and Wolverine pictures have been dropping.
So exciting.
And we got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine entering into the universe. Going to be a very interesting collab.
So
but I also partially feel like I think that part will be less exciting. I feel like it's just a divergent for like what actually is going on in the storyline, but that's for us nerds to really get excited about, and that's for, you know, the light watchers to get excited for when they see Hugh Jackman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was a really good series. It's only like 6 episodes.
Yeah, it was 6 episodes.
I just sneezed. It was only 6 episodes, but it was really great. I like the storyline. I like the pace of it. I felt like I got enough information.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna go well into the next
Honestly,
days.
Production 10 out of 10. They've slept on some of their shows. They did not sleep on Nick Fury. Only 6. We're on 4 right now. Dang. Yeah. No. I mean, enjoy those last 2, people. I might go back and rewatch a couple episodes just to confirm some shit. But oh, speaking of confirming some shit, did we watch the thing last time with what Teddy posted? No, that was 4 days ago. This is where Drake yeah. This is where Drake, I think, handed himself a hologram. Yeah. You can't go full screen with this? Corny.
So if anybody saw this online, it was the video of Drake at his concert, and there was like a conspiracy theory that he had like a hologram of himself, or like that he used AI or something. But it was just an actor. It was an actor with makeup. He was a real person. So, boop. Conspiracy debunked.
Yeah.
But it was good.
It
while
was
it
dope.
lasted.
Dope effects. Bottom blue, left. That's iMovie. You're showing the Bronx Zoo thing?
No, I can't see.
Go left. Why you keep going to the right every time I say left, gang?
With that?
No, that's your mail. Yo, you're moving mad federal right now, baby. Slow. Down to the bottom where the apps are. Literally right there. You go.
Oh, I got it.
How you going straight to it then? Dog, what? Did you guys see that?
All right, let's go over Britney Spears. Britney
take this
Spears got sort of slapped by Victor. I don't know how to say his last name. When I'm been done.
You got to full screen this. I'm gonna lose my marbles.
Wembanyama. I'm going. All right, full screen.
Green button where you be closing shit out. Top left.
I have to close. Got it. All right, so if anybody did not see the clip, here is the clip of Britney. Britney was at some hotel, some restaurant, and she saw this really tall basketball dude and said, I'm gonna run up to him and try to say hello. And then this is what happened to her. I don't know if you can see. Very played.
I'm gonna zoom in, keep it going. Run it back.
Alright. So that's her walking up to him. She's running like a psycho. And then boom, the security goes like this. He doesn't even turn around, and her own hand hits her face. Now, the security guard should never hit you, right? However, why are you chasing after a grown man
who's trained to stop people from running at him or people in his vicinity?
And not for nothing, she don't look like Britney Spears. She looked a little like drunk or something. I'm not saying she was
When
drunk.
don't Britney Spears look drunk?
If you don't know who a person is and you're gonna go like this, all he did was go like that, and her own hand hit her face. I watched that video multiple times. But this went viral because Britney went online and did like a whole story and said that she got hit and that women shouldn't be hit, which 100% women should not be hit in any situation. Do we know
what's good with Britney? Like, what she got going on? Is she bipolar?
What's good with Britney is that Britney is releasing a book.
No. Like, is she like mentally ill?
Well, she does have some mental illnesses, but it's not disclosed. Like the court has said that's why she was under a conservatorship because she went through a mental break. They don't say what
So
it is.
again, I don't know
Like,
why
we don't
people
know
keep
what it
making
is.
headlines with this shorty. Just let her be. Like, I know the people around her ain't letting her be either. But I mean, like, what are we doing talking about that? You know what I mean? Like, she's.
So going to that conspiracy about what's up
Damn.
with Britney, a big conspiracy that people have is that like her and her husband Sam Asghari are not really together. Like, so he put out a whole Instagram post about this, saying that his reaction was subdued in relation to his wife. He is not in this video at all. Her husband is not in this video. I know what he looks like. He's not in there. The only person hugging her is her manager, Kate Hudson. So why are you lying online? Why are you saying you were there when you weren't there? He was at dinner with her, but he was not there when she got hit. And he went on Instagram saying that he was there and that he saw his wife get hit.
Maybe because somebody who's
So,
seen the video that knows him,
what's
but like,
up
where
with
was
you,
you? And he
bro?
was
Why
like,
you
I was
lying?
there, you know?
Sam Asghari, tell us the truth. Hit us up. Violent TV. Spill the beans, man. Spill the beans.
It's a Violent TV? Okay.
Violent TV, cause we wildin'.
Twitch.tv/violent_out.
Wildin' on NDT pod. Okay, and Britney is releasing a tell-all book, ladies and gentlemen. It is coming out in October. It is already the #1 best-selling.
They say that
right now.
shit
They say
about every
book.
fucking book that comes out in the fucking world. I don't give a shit who's writing it. Everyone's get that fucking stamp of approval that says you got the #1 book, son. Good job.
You think they
Good.
pay extra money to get #1?
I think it's $25 to get that stamp that says #1 seller on every copy. First edition. Everyone.
They said that about every book.
Every fucking book.
Honestly, I bought the Bella Twins biography and it went #1. I think I did that.
Every book. I don't even read.
I don't think I'm gonna buy the Britney book, but maybe I'll watch like a YouTube video about it. I feel like I know a lot about it, and she's just gonna confirm the things that I already know because I've already done my own research.
Thank you, Julie.
Movies, do it.
I'm waiting for this shorty's documentary.
There's 48 million documentaries about her. That's why she.
Alright, I'm waiting for like the documentary where somebody plays her.
#1 movie in the world.
Like, Victoria Justice is gonna play her one day. Who could play Britney Spears?
Margot Robbie, the lady who's playing Barbie. Let's go to some Barbie looks. So if everybody knows, Barbie's out.
I don't think Margot can do it.
Go
She's
Barbie. I don't really care about Barbie like that, but it's everywhere in the media. So let's rate her outfits. Is this outfit a yay or a nay in terms of Barbie? Yay or nay? She has a nice little two-piece suit. What do you think, babe?
I mean, you asking my genuine thoughts?
Yeah, genuine thoughts. He hasn't seen any of these pictures.
Is this like a genuine fit, or is she doing this because
she's doing the Barbie?
Like she's
like, does she look like a Barbie? Ad. What?
Like she's promoting.
She is Barbie. She is the main character in the movie. So she's.
Oh, is this the one with Ryan Gosling?
Yes.
She looked old. She looked like Barbie mom.
So you're saying nay?
She looked like Barbie mom.
So thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumb crooked.
3, 2, 1.
Crooked thumb.
I say thumb up. I don't think he gets it, Cat. He's trying. All right, this is another one. A cute little fairy dress.
Does she have an outfit change?
These are different premieres.
How many times does this movie air?
Each country has like a big.
Don't laugh at me.
They do these premieres like in the UK, in London, in Asia, in India, and all the countries.
So where was she last time?
I don't know all those details.
Well, that plays into the outfit, does it not?
No, because it's about Barbie.
But she's appropriating Barbie, is she not?
She is Barbie.
Oh.
Like, she is Barbie. Like, she's supposed to be Barbie.
She's Margaret Robbie. Let's get something straight. Hi, Spoon.
Okay, next one. Okay, I know that this was in London.
Oh, now it matters. Now, that makes sense. If I were to think Barbie in London, she did something.
Hi, Spoon.
But Barbie in London being the last one? No. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere you go in each of those countries, they do alter.
I think this is
those...
Spain.
No. Yo, this is. Why you laugh at me?
I didn't think you'd be so like into this. Like you're really like considering each question.
Baby, you bring it up as a topic. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this is garbage.
All right, I have a collage for you.
This is called supporting your women, men.
I have a video collage.
Your women, men.
How do you open it?
Why'd you make a collage?
I didn't make a collage. It was on Twitter.
Alright, so click the link up top. Up. See where it glows? Yeah. Yeah, hit visit site. Yeah. Hit that green button. Ah. No. X. We'll set that up next time. Diablo.
It's okay, we could do it here. So here you go. You have a
Fuck the collage.
one.
Fuck the collage.
Come on.
Well, what are we even bringing here? She's dressed in all black and white. She's in all pink fluffies. What are we bringing here? If she's Barbie, she's Barbie. What do we care what she's wearing? Isn't the point of Barbie that we change her clothes? You could put me in. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. It's fantastic being plastic. You can brush my hair and dress me anywhere. Is that not it? Is that not it?
I think I'm
like, is that not the point of Barbie to like give them little outfits and stuff? Like Barbie was the OG way of finding out if your kid could do fashion or not, or if they're gonna be some type of predator you should watch out.
I used to pull it off all my Barbies here.
Yeah, you was on the P list for sure.
And I used to make like pools, so I would get like containers from my kitchen and put water in them, and then I'd make my Barbies swim. Because I didn't have a pool, so it was like I was living through the.
Oh, you see, thank you, Spoon. Thank you, Spoon. See, points were made.
To be honest.
Spoon, you're getting on my good side now.
All right. Now we have this TikTok trend that's going around of like influencers going to different countries like Paris, Ibiza, Italy, and like talking shit about the area. So what do we think? What do we think about people releasing negative things?
Hey, go back. Oh yeah, this is Twitter again.
Alright, I won't play it, but what do you think about the people going to the different places and
scroll up. There we go. Alright, it says an underappreciated aspect of this is that Instagram has convinced a lot of people without a ton of money that they should be traveling to places that rich people frequent. Because rich people can afford to manage these inconveniences, you cannot. Alright, so basically these influencers are going to the spots and shitting on the spots, but it's kind of counterintuitive because it's like, yo, you're put in a situation where you can go to the spot and you're shitting on it, whereas other people would not even be given the light of day opportunity.
Yeah, I think a good example is like when people come to New York and they're like, oh, New York is so dirty, da-da-da-da-da. But it's like, you pay money to come over here, so like that's on you. However, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. If you don't do your research before you go to a place, why are you having certain expectations of a place because of how it looks on Instagram? Right. That just means that you're a tryhard and you're doing something that somebody else was doing it.
Well, Kat, good point. Kat goes, Paris is allegedly stinky. Barcelona is also stinky.
Yes, can you talk about that? Because you went to a place and you never said something negative about it. Like, you understand why it smells like that because of the place where you're at.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look, Barcelona wasn't dirty. They clean the streets quite often. I'm pretty sure it's just city water. That's why it stinks.
They clean the streets with like water from the ocean, right?
I'm not sure exactly where it comes from. All I know is that 2 points of the day, 2, 3, a couple points during the day, all the streets get fucking washed down. And then shortly afterwards, there is a smell. I mean, but also, what do you expect from a fucking massive city's worth of garbage being washed away at one point? You're gonna get a waft of something, you know? Yeah. You don't go to the toilet, you know, and never pass gas. You know what I mean?
I think it's about the bigger picture.
Your shit stinks sometimes.
You can definitely go somewhere and then say your opinion about the place, but make sure that your opinion is rooted in truth, right? Like, If you expected something and you didn't do your research, and then you go out there and you're like, oh, I have to walk a lot in Positano. Like, have you never seen pictures of Positano? It's all fucking hills. Like, bring up a fucking map.
That's like what Shorty was doing on Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
Where she was like, again, everything is paid for. And we could talk about the conditions that the productions of those people put them under, but you know what you sign up for. Also, it's not fucking paid. Like, you don't have to pay for it.
A great example is like if we go to Dubai and we go out into the desert and we go on camels, and then I complain the whole time about there being dust in my lungs. Like, do you not know what the fuck you're doing in Dubai?
Or that you're just complaining about the camel ride the whole time. Like, my coochie hurts. My coochie hurts. This camel is awful. The camels are not soft enough in Egypt. You know what I mean? Or wherever the fuck we just said. Wait, Marriage is a First Sight. They pay? No. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't pay for anything. So it's like for you to go and have the audacity to literally just shit on everything when they're giving it to you and you signed up to receive it is kind of like what you expect. You know, you expected $1 million but signed up for $250. You know?
Alright, so this is a viral tweet that's going around. This guy texts this girl. So you'll be blue messages, I'll be gray.
Hi, hey, this is Vance.
Hi, smiley face.
Hope you've had a good day. I'm excited for tomorrow. I can pick you up, but if you're not comfortable with that, we can just meet there. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like getting some ice cream in this hot weather. LOL.
Sorry if this may come off as rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and a date like that seems like the absolute bare minimum for me. Meeting up could be a waste of both of our time since we probably don't have the same vibe. Best wishes.
Cool. Sunglasses.
What do we think about that?
What the fuck?
What type of reaction is that?
I mean,
it's summer.
I mean, if they just had the conversation exchanging names, right? He knew nothing about her. And it was strictly off of appearance. And now she's setting her boundaries.
For ice cream?
Not for ice creams, but her standards of dates. Like, you can't go and judge a book by its cover. Hence, you can't go and, I guess, buy a library for a book that you don't know what it's about. You know?
What I think that's missing
Or you can't categorize it in the library without knowing what it's about.
What I think that's missing, and I feel like a lot of women do this, we assume that the other person like knows what we like, and I don't think she gave this guy an opportunity to like come back with a better idea. Like, if you don't want to go eat ice cream, say, okay, I like your idea. How do you feel about this? And if he comes back like, no, bitch, we're gonna get ice cream, that's when you come out and you're like, all right, you're wasting my time because you won't even compromise. This is where I think people in general fail at communicating, because it's like, why are you coming off so aggressive? Do you just not want to go?
All right, here.
I just say that.
I'm going to tear down this message to the T. First sentence, nothing wrong. I'm sorry if this may come off rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. Nothing wrong with that. Keep it a stack. Just take it away. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and a date like that, I'm going to pause it there. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and a date like that is all right to say, because you're saying where you are in life, and you're about to say, you know, your opinions on that. The absolute bare minimum for me is where you're kind of fucked up, because it's like what you're saying. You're not giving this dude any sort of fucking comeback. Like, you couldn't say, like, respond fun and be like, that's it? Question mark?
No, or just be like, hey, I appreciate your suggestion.
Well, you don't have to do that if you don't appreciate it.
No, but like, he at least gave a suggestion. Most guys are like, do whatever the fuck you want. Like,
I guess you're right.
He's trying. If he doesn't know you and off rip, you're already getting off on the wrong foot. That's your opportunity to be like, hey, even if you don't appreciate it, hey, that may have been a great idea in the past, but I don't really like to do that. Would you prefer to go elsewhere? Like, give the guy an opportunity to come back and say something else, and if he comes back with the same energy, that's when you cut it off. But I feel like it was like a premature response. Like, to be a 26-year-old woman, you sound kind of childish to me, honestly.
You sound high maintenance. You just sound like you're about to go on a rant of like, I expect 2 bottles of wine at the price
My
of
issue with this
$7,500.
is like, why is ice cream like being belittled? Why, like, this is the same equivalent to me as like a coffee
That's
date.
what I'm talking about.
It's like
Like
a
the why'd
coffee
you
date.
belittle the aspect that
Yeah.
he's trying to do something
But
nice
if you
for
think about it, this is to me like a coffee date. Like if you're just meeting someone for the first time, most people don't want to sit with someone for an hour or two. If you go somewhere really quick, 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then you figure out if you like that person, and then you go back and have a second date.
Let's role play real quick. Say the way that they met. Was that a high?
Hi, Fumi.
Say they met at a really high level, high profile environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they exchange this information, and he's kind of putting himself off to be this big money man, right? And he's about a fine wine and diner, you know what I mean? And he hits her up and is like, yeah, let's go get some ice cream on some low humble vibes, right? Maybe in other parts of them meeting in person, she didn't like it, because now I'm reading out this last part. She gets a little bit deeper. She goes, meeting up would be a waste of both of our time since we probably don't have the same vibe.
And that's where she's speaking the truth about why she don't want to go out with him.
Right. But
You
it's
know what I
all in
mean?
one message. It's not like this is all separate.
Yes.
Like, had it been separate, I think I would take it a little bit more of like, why are you just belittling this dude? And now you're just like judging him based off of that. But if it's all in one message, it kind of just seems like word vomit. And again, I don't know how they met. If they met at some high establishment and he played himself off to be some hot, like, you know, big money spender, why are you saying let's go get ice cream downtown type vibes?
I think that it could have been just communicated better on the other person's end, because it just came off like aggressive for no reason. Like you just shot somebody down cold.
Yeah, the best wishes was like what's
that's
your
kinda
deal?
fucked up.
She didn't want to text back.
And like if she would have responded differently, I think he would have suggested something else. But the way she responded off rip is like that kind of shows your character to me. I don't know.
I don't think he meant just ice cream. If he did, then that ain't it. Ooh. So
That's what I'm saying too.
okay,
she
so
didn't
maybe
ask
she
no clarifying
although
questions.
maybe she felt degraded. Again, it depends on how they got these numbers in the first place for me, and what that vibe was like in order to warrant any of that, you know. But I think it is warrantable if you come up with a situation. Say there wasn't a situation and they just met on Tinder and then they got each other's numbers and that's what he recommends. That would be fucked. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Did we go over through the redhead and the? Oh no. We could talk about Jonah Hill. Yeah, because this is another situation where so you guys are familiar with who Jonah Hill is, right? Hopefully most of you guys are. Hilarious actor. He's coming up in the media recently in a little bit of hot water because his ex is rehashing some of their text messages that she is trying to throw the narrative as toxic, I believe.
And here is one of the messages.
Yeah.
So basically, some background.
Yeah,
These messages were released like 2 years ago.
Yeah, look at December 2nd, 2021.
It was released 2 years ago when the whole breakup happened, and it didn't gain any traction. It's gaining traction now, I guess. I guess because he has a movie coming out or something. But this girl that he started dating is like a surfer girl, and she like surfs and stuff. So he met her at the beach where she surfs, right? When he met her, she had pictures on her Instagram of her surfing in a bathing suit, because people be surfing in bathing suits, and taking pictures with like the people who she surfed with, her surf community, which we know that surfers are mainly male.
Yeah.
It's a male-driven field. But his messages were during the relationship, and I would like to let you know, we're gonna read this out, but there's a message here that's missing where she agrees to all of this. Like she agrees to everything he says. It's all rainbows and sunshine.
We'll read it out because it's a little bit small. But basically, Jonah sends a text saying, plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the way these actions hurt our trust. Okay? So, seems like it's pretty straightforward, plain and simple. Um, if you were to just take that list outside and line it up with who she was as an individual before him, that would be wrong to say. However, he wraps it up by saying, you, based on the way that these actions have hurt our trust. Hurt is past tense. So it's like, if these things have been causing a speed bump, and there is no compromise here, I'm not the dude for you. And allegedly, she just agreed. No?
Yeah, she agreed, and she literally copied and pasted what he wrote, and she was like, I don't need bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. So basically, she came out with these messages again 2 years later. Mind you, since all of this happened, he has like a wife and
Tap it out, super. Keep going, babe.
Huh?
Keep going.
Oh, like he has a baby. He has a wife and a baby now, or a girlfriend or something and a baby. So it's like, this was a long time ago, and you can't paint someone as controlling because you don't like what they say to you. If someone is in a relationship with you and they have certain expectations of what they want their wife to be, that's not necessarily emotionally controlling. If you don't like it, it's up to you to speak up, and there are some things that he's saying here that I would take as a red flag, but that's me as an individual person.
I was going to say, yeah, if you go down to the list, again, comparing it, you can't be mad at your significant other for doing lifestyle tendencies. You can't get mad at your significant other for doing like lifestyle tendencies while they're still in a relationship with you. As long as that obviously doesn't step on too many boundaries. Now, if we were to take something from this list like to model, and you are dating a model, you are then telling them that they're not allowed to work.
Or like what I read, it was like her aspiration was to get into surfing modeling. Not even like modeling, like modeling for surfboards.
So here's just in general, again, surfing with men, very general. But the next one is boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men. That's very specific and seems to be easier to gauge than surfing with men. What if she's surfing by herself and a man surfs near her wave and paparazzi takes pictures of that because this is now Jonah Hill's girl, or maybe she's making way in the surf industry? It just seems to be like every other bullet point seems to be like to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit. That's under to model. I'm not sure what you think many women model in, but I hate to break it to you, Jonah. There's going to be some of that going around, and it's not always going to be explicit. However, you can specify when the explicit ones do bother you, which is what he did. So I think he's part red flags. I think W said, and I think she could have just pointed out the negative things, like the ones that we talked about, and been like, all right, bet, deuces. But the fact that she's rehashing this also isn't her first time bringing this back up.
No. She wasn't diagnosed with like bipolar disorder or something like that, so maybe she's having like a manic episode where she just wants to pay attention to herself. Like for real, I'm not just saying that, like that's actually been documented by other journalists. So it might be something like that. I don't know why it's gaining traction now, and it didn't gain traction when it first came out in September of 2020.
Media's getting weird in the sense that we like to focus on...
But they love to bring shit back, man.
Well, not only that, but also, like, it seems like we're nitpicking a lot of people that just aren't in the right headspace.
I agree.
Sometimes that puts me not in the headspace and don't want to be the headspace. All I said was, oh, I'm done. I feel like that's weird because they literally met by what brought her to the dance. That's true, Kate.
That's a big part of the discussion. That's a big
part of it. And also, like, I mean, like, also in saying that, it's like, you can't do our first date with other guys type thing. And if their first date was surfing, I would get that feeling. But then if your first date was with somebody who does that for a profession,
Did you read the tweet that accompanied this? These are some other opinions from people.
Oh, Candace. Oh, and she said, "Women say that there are no good men. Truth is, there are plenty of good men, but many women don't want to rise to the level of being good women. Basic respect for yourself and your partner isn't a tall task." Again, there is nothing wrong with Jonah's leaked text messages. See, again, that's from a lady who likes to get a rise out of her extreme character.
And then this is an article from NBC.
NBC says, after text messages between Jonah Hill and Sarah Brady were posted to Instagram, many on Twitter began discussing how a partner used therapy speak to police their behavior, particularly millennial men. What?
So they're talking
saying,
about how men nowadays, or like people who go to therapy, will come back and use what they've learned in therapy against someone who they're close to. But the idea of therapy is that you're going to a professional who has more knowledge than you. So when you use those types of terminologies and vocabulary with someone who doesn't really understand it, it can come off as manipulative.
So
So they talk about 3 specific words that you don't know: narcissist, boundaries.
Are you saying I don't know what narcissists are?
No, those are the 3 words that come up in this article.
Oh.
Like narcissism, boundaries, and there was one more that these journalists are saying.
Misogynist.
Misogynist. Those are like the 3 words that they're saying that people are misusing, and it's called therapy talk. It used to be called psychobabble.
Okay. Here's where there's a lot to unpack there. The narrative that people go to therapy and apply their therapies in their further discussions, and it ends up going their way, now having the narrative of being used against somebody, to me is very... It's clear to me that there's more than one person who should probably be attending these therapies, so to speak. Because if you can't understand that, some of the processes that come out of therapy are genuinely helping this person feel who they truly are, and now you just feel like you are losing the fight, or if you just feel guilty from that, that's probably because you're doing something that goes against the therapy, which is trying to get someone healthy. So who's going to be the toxic one there? The active person who's trying to get better and seeking that help, or the person who's not accepting the fact that that person is doing that and might be now at a more emotionally intelligent level? I think this really talks about like emotional intelligence and how, remember what I was saying before? I saw a clip where they were basically saying women only want men to be emotionally intelligent when it is convenient for them. And when it is brought up in a way that it is not convenient for them, it becomes about how that emotion that the guy is expressing makes the girl feel. So
like
now
the
other significant
other
other
I would
feel.
say is disclaimer: therapy is not easily accessible for everyone.
Correct.
Therapy is expensive.
Correct.
To find a good therapist is difficult. But what this article talks about is like someone who's had therapy and who's had like that opportunity versus someone who hasn't, right? So two people coming into a situation where one person...
And this is still about the Jonah Hill one?
Yeah, where one person has all this jargon and another person is coming in at like a deficit, and then you use that jargon to kind of like against that person to belittle them, but then they don't really know what it means. So it can come off as like emotional abuse, but maybe it's someone just being kind of emotionally intelligent to the point where you don't get it.
Right. So
and at that point, yeah, you both got to go to therapy together. Right?
Did this Sarah Brady girl, she's got no wealth? She comes from no wealth?
No, so she ended up going to therapy within their relationship, but he ended up paying for her therapy. And at the end of the text messages, he goes, oh, when the pictures of him and the girl come out, in the text message thread of that, he was like, if you still need me to pay for your therapy, I'll pay for it. Which is kind of like a little overbearing in a way. Yeah. Like you still want to be in someone's life by paying for their therapy. Kind of weird. But I would say, I do believe that people can use what they've learned from therapy in a good way, but sometimes you can be too self-aware and too like situational in a way that could be negative.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't like, if you go a couple times and then you don't stick up with it, and then you just know all this information and you want to apply it, but you really haven't learned it for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I
that's
mean,
where that
I
comes
think when you're going through therapy, there's obviously going to be a plateau where now you've reached your limit of everything that you've learned,
from.
right? And now it comes a matter of actually applying it. And that's going to be a battle, you know? You pick and choose which arguments, which topics, what you're going to do, you know, how much you're actually going to dive into it. And therapy is supposed to help you wrap your head around all that stuff, understand your emotions, and basically like help you pick and choose your which ones are valuable to you, and then you could proceed with them. You know what I mean?
I think boundaries are 100% important in a relationship, but you also have to respect who someone is. And if that person isn't for you, you gotta let them go, bro.
That's what I mean.
Like, you can't
Yeah.
expect someone to just change every single little fucking
Right.
bit about themselves. Like,
Right.
that means you just don't like them.
Right.
You know? And at that point, Jonah and this girl don't like each other. Like, if you're releasing all these intimate details and information, like, I would never release on social media intimate messages with anyone, no matter how bad they do me, because that's not the type of person I am. That shows the type of person you are. You know what I mean? Like, you're vindictive. For what? It's 2 years now. Like, let it go.
Yeah, when we first started hearing about this, I would see it making sense if it's during the relationship and she's trying to get opinions. But the fact that it's so long afterwards and she's trying to throw a label out there and it's not really gaining the traction is what kind of bothers me, you know. They're supposed to start applying as soon as possible. Once you realize that you change, you need to what change you need to make, start making them. Yeah, January go, absolutely right. And also hello. But yes, absolutely. Change, nothing's gonna change if you don't change anything, you know? That's a simple thing to
And
understand.
it's not necessarily like changing who you are, but not everybody is perfect, right? So you have to be, people have to be introspective, right? And you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, I'm Chantal Chevalier, and these are the good things about me, and these are the things I need to work on. And I feel like when people get to that point, and you're kind of you try to be like unbiased when it comes to yourself, and just be like, hey, this is who I am, and this is what I'm trying to work on. I feel like that's when like the most beautiful things come, and
Yeah,
it's hard. It's
yeah,
hard work.
so it's hard to do because you have to make sure you take the steps every once in a while to assess if you're that same person. You know what I'm saying? Teddy, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. I appreciate you, my guy.
Shout
I
out
love
Teddy.
you. Big Ted. I gotta work on that. There's a lot of echo there. But
Love you, Teddy,
love you,
Anna.
Ted. What were we saying?
Hi, Brandy.
Oh, change doesn't happen unless you start changing.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say people also gotta be open to like
Look at Mr. Cat, how he chooses his own chair and just likes to live his best life. He's the cutest.
Yeah, he's the best.
FYI, I don't really know what y'all talking about, but I heard a little bit and wanted to add that bit. Well, thank you, January. Go. You added a
it
good
was
little
great.
bit.
Also, I think some people have
Have
a
a
tendency
tendency
to
to
use
use
things
things
they
they
learn
learn.
from therapy to change other people's behavior. And the point of therapy is to learn how to navigate the world.
Okay, so I'm also talking about the different people that go to therapy now. I feel like there are the people who genuinely need therapy that get their help at any cost and at some strenuous costs. Then I believe that there are some people who are overly comfortable in life and now have put themselves in a state where they don't know what they're feeling and why, and they use the therapist as a validation tool, and they kind of just put that on other people because they're bored. In all honesty, that's my opinion. I'm not saying it's law. If you feel like the shoe fits and you're wearing it, I'm sorry to offend you, but there's a lot of people who go to like, for example, if therapy isn't in the mainstream, okay, right? Not a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, I'm going to therapy, I'm going to therapy.
But if mental health is what's trending now, they're gonna be the hipsters that brag about whatever trend is happening at the time. So I don't like those people necessarily, because you're only doing it because it's a trend and you're not getting the full benefit of whatever it is that's trying to make an income. Whether that's mental health related, whether that's physically health related. Like the amount of scams that have come out in terms of food that has been, what was it? The Nutra products or whatever it's called, or Weight Watchers even. The amount of things that have come out that have just been said to do this thing, it became like a trend. Everyone did it, and then just threw out their own narrative. Was like,
yeah, I believe that if you use therapy as like a vindictive thing and as like a, oh, I'm doing this, so I'm gonna get back at you. Like, there's never gonna be a positive outcome of that.
yeah,
Because there are I've seen couples, online who go to therapy and one partner doesn't want to do it, and then they're forced to do it, and then they resent the other partner for it, and then maybe one person is learning something, but then they're kind of judging around the other person, and then it just turns into a horrible
yeah. Also, that's the
mess of
thing is when you have
things.
too much in your inventory, you start to over project. It's I call that overspilling cups.
And it's also not everything works for everyone.
Right.
That's why certain people do yoga, or certain people work out, or certain people journal, or certain people read. Not everyone may benefit from the therapist-patient scenario. There are some people who struggle with vulnerability, and then they go into a therapy session and they do what's called therapizing yourself, where you go in and you tell a therapist, yeah, I went through a bad breakup, but we talked about it and we're good, and I'm good. I'm just here to be here.
Well, I also knew somebody.
Goes, what are your actual feelings? You're here to tell me what's going on, and then some people just don't have that actual connection.
There's also, I know some people who would, well, yeah, I've known people who went to therapy in the past and only told therapists what they wanted to tell them.
Yeah.
And it's essentially they just went to a therapist to go and give the most skewed version of their reality as possible, and to get somebody to hear it and to see the reaction of that, because that's what they're imagining in their head, and that's what they want to see play out. And the fact that it doesn't always play out that way is ooh.
I just feel if sometimes
not going for the right
people
reason.
struggle with being true to themselves, how can you be honest with a completely new person that you've never known?
But that's where a really good therapist comes into play.
Therapist.
You'll know a good therapist when they start calling you out on that bullshit. As soon as they see, okay, well, I can prove to you right now through your own words that it doesn't line up through X, Y, and Z, and then we could start talking. That's where you're gonna end up finding the right therapist, and that's a lot of the battle too. For a lot of people who are fortunate to get therapy, unfortunately, the first one isn't always the best one for you. And there's a bunch of different mediums, so people just got to make sure that they keep going out there. Absolutely. Whitehawk says, yeah, people always want to be performative and do that do the trendy thing only because it's the thing to do, and he can't stand that. Absolutely. I can't stand seeing people just hop on the train and not actually grasp the benefits or even weigh in the cons. For example, vaping. Right? As soon as studies start coming in, right? Sure, vaping before, there wasn't much talk on it. It was a little mysterious. It was cool or whatever. But as soon as studies are coming in, and this is literally worse than you smoking a cigarette, at the frequency at which you would normally smoke a vape that became trendy and modernized, is what fucks everything up. You know what I mean? And now just doing that and ignoring all the cons, to me, is shitty. And then what happens? You genuinely get addicted to nicotine, and then you have to go to other vices, which you're down a bad path.
I think people nowadays, me myself included, when I was younger and I was in college, people are easily influenced, especially online, where you want to keep up with others and you want to be on whatever wave that other people are on. Because most people our age have that FOMO feeling, the fear of missing out. So because you have a fear of missing out, you want to be a part of a group, right? And that's just the human condition is to be part of an in-group. Nobody wants to be part of an out-group, right? But because we live in such a congested world, not everyone can be in an in-group. That's an actual psychological thing. Like human beings have survived in a group, in community.
Yeah, but then how do you explain your outcasts, the ones who have actually made such a difference in humanity?
Usually outcasts were outcasted out of society. That's why they were called outcasts. So
Right.
you wouldn't want to be an outcast. But
However,
now,
they ended up
we live
leading.
in such a complex world that it's changed. You know,
Right.
like that's like a simplistic mindset of the human
Right.
experience. We live in such a complex world where it's like, it's hard for people to figure out who they are and what their originality is because we have so many outside influences of like who we should be or like what we should be into or like what you should be into as a guy, what I should be into as a girl, what I should be
Yeah.
into as a lesbian.
There's
You know, like,
labels.
there's all these labels, right? So it's like for you to step outside of those labels and really try to figure out who you are beyond all the outside, that's such a hard thing to do, you know?
I mean, yeah, I guess you're kind of just going off the topic that majority of the people in the world are, yeah, they're gonna have that sheep mindset. And it's not like a lot of people want to be the black sheep, but sometimes when you are, it's kind of like figuring out your
I don't
path
think it's
within
sheep
that.
mindset though. What I'm talking about like growing up in such a
Rich,
like-
rich,
like a rich environment of so many different things where it's like
culture.
culture, experiences, and not everyone grows up
Agriculture.
like that, but because we have social media, you have access to so many things where it's like you don't even have the opportunity to develop a sense of identity because your identity is being put on you by society, by the media, by your parents, by whoever.
But that's also people's lack
when you
of being
step
able
out of
to
that-
like control their social media the way that they should be. You know, stop looking at titty pictures and pictures of chicks with fat asses or dudes with big dicks. Stop all that on social media and start actually like using it for what it's for. Educate yourself, connect with your roots, you know, see the beautiful places that you want to see and use
And the
it
biggest
as a
thing is-
tool. I mean, don't use it as a fucking I feel like that's why everything else is also going to shit is like we are not using anything the way that we really should, or rather we are not showing the things that we use full appreciation.
Mhm.
And now when other people get their hands on the tools, they just start swinging it in different ways and now everyone's upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also think that like I just feel like you have to try to put yourself in different situations to figure out what you like or not. Like you can't always be in like your own little box of comfort. Right? Like my mom growing up would always put me and my sister into like different programs and we didn't have a lot of money growing up, right? But my mom would put me into things that then I realized I didn't like those things. But if it wasn't for me trying it, I wouldn't have figured out like who I am in terms of my identity. And like my mom put me in like a lot of modeling, a lot of like dance classes, and like a lot of things that I realized weren't what I was into. I was more of like an athlete growing up, but my mom was.
Thanks, Anne Marie. Appreciate you, gang.
But my mom was like a single mom, so like she didn't know to put me into activities like that. Because she gave me those opportunities, I was able to develop my own identity. And I feel like the more opportunities you have as a human being, the more well-rounded you will be. Right? If you take those opportunities for what they are, you don't have to like everything, but you
So
should
then
try
again,
everything once.
technically, I would want to be an outcast for that matter, because especially for what January Goat is saying. Word, I'll agree. Outcasts will typically find another community to be a part of, though. So when you said outcasts are typically outcasted, that's why you don't want to be one. It's
No, I
like
didn't say I
if
didn't
they
want to
get
be an outcast. I was just talking about in groups versus
Right,
people
right.
who are not part of it.
right, but you mentioned that outcasts isn't necessarily the best thing because you're getting outcasted from society, which I understand and I agree with, in the sense that he and what January Goat brings up in saying that they usually find another community. I would say, based off what you said last about wanting to be more well-rounded, I think people should strive to be a little bit more of an outcast, but within their immediate surroundings. I think it's very important for you to go a little bit against the grain, but in order to gain something out of it, which is gonna be, you know, diversifying yourself in terms of your culture, your knowledge, you know, your experiences, and then yeah, you could help make your own judgment. It's not like, you know, everyone's gonna go to their roots and be like, oh my god, I stand with my roots. Some people will go to the roots and be like, you know, I kind of skew away from this actually, and now I can identify as wherever they want to move on into next. You know, they could find somebody from the area that they do resonate with, and then go on there. You know what I mean? Like, this world's full of opportunities. It just really depends on your circumstances and how hard you're willing to fight to make it how you want it. You know?
Yeah. Spoon said that period of being an outcast to finding your people can be really difficult though. Some people don't make it.
They don't make it, which is the worst case scenario. However, I think a positive narrative or mindset to have is to tell people that it's empowering. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you are finding your own identity and finding something concrete is again something that a lot of people will live a whole life through and not do. And sometimes that might be worse for some people who don't make it. You know what I mean? In that sense, like, would you rather have not made it feeling like you could never attain things, or would you rather live a whole life in utter, absolute, I guess, unhappiness? Right? Like, what's there to? Because we don't know what happens afterwards. You know what I mean? Yo, what up, Jay? Oh, your dom is here?
But he didn't call.
All right, we're going to do a quick BRB.
Alexa, turn on the living room.
Thank you, Spoon, for your contributions. Yeah, we're doing BRB. Get the food real quick. We're going to try to wrap this up in like the next 20-ish minutes. It's been a minute since I caught a stream. Yeah, Jay, so we actually have a schedule that's rolling pretty solid now. Where's my phone? So I'm doing games 3 days a week. We started a YouTube, which we have playlists and shit for the podcast, and then we have some for gaming. So right now the schedule is going to be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for my gaming. Thursdays are going to be for... Oh, she took the microphone, so that's definitely going to disconnect. But I want to see how far the range is. Let me know if you guys can hear her. Like, hey, thanks for the order. But yeah, Thursdays is going to be the podcast. 8 p.m. we're trying to aim for every Thursday, 8. Keep that kind of consistent. But Tuesdays, 8 a.m., Wednesdays, 4 p.m., Fridays, 3 p.m. or 7 p.m. I'm still trying to figure out my times, but those days are definitely going to be consistent. It's absolutely worth it. That can be difficult to maintain that perspective when you're in that when you're in the thick of it. Absolutely, absolutely. I will say I'm thankful for COVID to help me through that. I believe that isolation helped me. Not saying it's going to help everybody, but I definitely think isolation helped me find my own identity, as well as find my appreciation for my roots again, which is something that at some other points in time I lost. So it really forced me to be by myself and figure out what it is that I needed, what I had, what I wanted, and see where I can change for the good or for the better. And yeah, I'm stoked with where I'm at. I mean, y'all, I'm pretty sure some of you guys remember. Jay, I know, remembers. Jay remembers a lot. Ted remembers 20 years of my life. Jay remembers since freshman year of college, which at this point is what, 7 years away? 7 years ago? Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I wasn't always like this now, and I'm blessed to be where I am. I'm blessed to be with who I am with, who's getting our pizza. And I'm blessed to have everybody in here. And in full honesty, thank you, Goat. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Spoon, King, Teddy, Fumi, Super Casual, everybody. I've been working really hard to kind of make things a reality for us, for me. I just appreciate everyone's support. Y'all are goated, especially you, January goat. Haha. All right, I think it's Steve Harvey quote, and I hate to quote that man, but he said something about, why would you give up when you're going through hell? Keep going to get to the other side. Something like that. That's interesting. He said things are looking up for you, my man. Oh, thank you, Jay. It is very much easier said than done, though.
because I've been there before. I feel like a lot of people have been there, and yeah, it's even hard to put into words after you've been through it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody could really fully grasp what people go through in that time. I don't think people could grasp what they genuinely go through at any time well enough to other people.
Just because everyone's gonna have their own bias of what they're going through at that time, and they're gonna scale it out. You know what I mean? But yeah. All right. Well, Chantal gets the pizza up, or I'm gonna go find her because hopefully nobody kidnapped her. BRBs, real quick. All right, gang. No pizza yet, but we are gonna call it. We'll wrap it up. Again, thank you everybody for pulling up. If you guys did miss any bit of it and you do want to see what else we talked about, please go to the YouTube. I think it's Wyland Clips on YouTube. If you guys want to help us in terms of what we're going to talk about next week, make sure you guys are in the Discord. !Discord. If you guys are in the live chat, !Discord. Also, I think my YouTube is !YouTube. Do I have any of my mods in here that could do that for me? Thank you, Jay. If that link does not work, just DM me privately on Twitch, and I'll DM you. Hey, thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. Make sure that you guys. Oh,
I was gonna put in the.
what, you're gonna move the mouse.
Oh, I'm not doing it.
Oh, I guess you're right. You're right. I could actually just close that out.
I was gonna put the link.
Wait, to put the what?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and for chatting with us. You guys were amazing. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great night.
Yeah, everybody have a good one. I'll stream tomorrow if anybody wants to tune into that. It's gonna be a Fortnite day, but I'm feeling a whole bunch of different shooters. We've been on like a Minecraft binge lately. I spent like another couple hours on it today with the guys. Pretty dope stuff coming through there. But we're gonna get back into Roll Company, Fortnite. We'll try to do some Fall Guys. I like the consistent schedule, so if you guys can, consistently show up, or know people who might be around who want to join up, just shoot them over. You know what I mean? And then we could all join up. So again, we appreciate you guys. Who's online right now that we could raid? Anybody got ideas?
Hope everyone has a great week and a great weekend, and that you try to enjoy this blazing heat.
Yeah,
if
honestly,
you're out in New York, it's been so freaking hot.
It's very fucking cool, my
So
Wayne just got on. Love you, Wayne.
Let us know, like,
Peter, I
subscribe,
love
sign up, subscribe to Dylan's channel, subscribe to our YouTube, please. We would really love your support.
Go listen to
And
this.
leave us a comment on YouTube if you go and like watch some of this again and you watch it back. We're trying to continue to improve every time we do this, so any feedback would be great. Letting us know how our audio is, what we can talk about, some topics.
Overlays, anything that you guys might find interesting or something exciting for us.
Next time we'll have hopefully our theme song, or the time after that, and that's gonna be a dope little addition. So I hope everyone has a great night.
I think exclamation point JP is for Peter. Shout out Sonic Boom. And exclamation point
shout out Teddy.
Exclamation point Koi is for Teddy. Yep. So make sure you guys go give those two a listen on Spotify. They are the people helping us put the music, and my lifelong best friends, my broskies, the amazingness. We are gonna go over to Wayne and see how his Brawlhalla matches are gonna go, because we've also been killing it on that. Wayne Enterprise. And we definitely want to see more content. All right, love you guys so much. Thank you so much again, and we will see you next time. Bye.